So this art show is called Excursions because every time, I don't know, I like work during the day like everybody else. And when I get home, sometimes I need to decompress, and so like a lot of times Stephanie, my wife here, will go to bed. She sleeps more than I do, but arguably because I take naps. But so she'll go to bed and I'll stay up and paint. Most of these take about 2 hours to do. They're really fast. And so I'll probably do some in a minute. But I'll do really short ones, like quick ones. But my point is, the reason it's called Excursions is because I always think like when I get to do art, whether it's music or visual art, it's like a little like vacation, like you kind of can go somewhere else and just kind of travel, I guess, and kind of just reset. So that was kind of the idea for the name Excursions. But then it kind of had a double meaning. So if I sell any pieces, we're actually going to Costa Rica next week. And we paid for the trip, but we haven't got any excursions yet. So if we sell some art, then you'll be funding our excursions. So I'm sure it'll be a decent trip without you, but it could help. It's pretty amazing. This song is dedicated to a friend of mine over here, Sean. He showed me this artist. We listened to a lot of music together in high school and stuff, and then he went to college at Berkeley and was like the... Pepperdine, yeah, same thing, right? Pepperdine. He was at Pepperdine and he would send me music home, and I really got into this artist like just out of high school. Nick Drake, a lot of people know him now, but at that time he was kind of like not really known. And thank you for giving me that box set. That was really cool to listen to. Yeah. So this is kind of a take on one of his songs. I've changed some stuff. Never felt emotion crazy as this. Never saw moons know the meaning of the sea. Never held an ocean in the palm of my hand. Felt sweet breezes in the tops of the tree. But now you're here. Been a long time that I'm waiting. Been a long time that I'm blown. always kind of keeps reoccurring in my head and kind of in my art and stuff. Hey guys, how are you? I'm about 5 years into formation, spiritual formation, to become a Catholic deacon. So a lot of times I'm like in meditation and stuff and just trying to imagine things that are bigger than I am and things that I can't comprehend as a human. But I imagine, like, you know, in our faith there's this Trinity of God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so that image is kind of the way I summarize it in my little tiny human brain. I just kind of see like that image of the dove as the Holy Spirit, that peace. And then the heart wing is kind of the love between the Father and the Son. And so I see it all kind of combined together. And then the nest is kind of like this home, because you can't really separate the three. It's the mystery that they're all one God and the same. And I still don't have it totally figured out. But anyway, that's where that image comes from. There are lights in the clouds and sound traveling round. Hear my voice as it's rolling and ringing from me, soft and sweet. How the notes all bend and reach above the trees. What a beautiful face I found in this place, circling around the sun. When we meet on a cloud, I'll be laughing out loud. I'll be laughing with everyone I see. Love to be in the arms of all I'm keeping here with me. Heidi's going to record some music pretty soon, some stuff that we worked on, and so we thought it'd be really fun to have her play through some of those tonight, as well as do a cover. So yeah, super stoked that she was able to make that. She's always been really supportive, and I was super hyped to see her show here. So it's just fun to have friends that are of similar mind.
I first heard him play like this in a living room. It was like a house show, and I was really inspired. And now I didn't know I was going to be joining him, but it's fun. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm in a living room again.
Taking my time, let's take it slow. Sit by my side and just let it go. Life is too fast, let's slip away. Just settle down and remember to play. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Taking my time, let's take it slow. Sit by my side and just let it go. Just relax, just unwind. Just relax, just unwind. Just like a seed hidden but free. Why even worry when it's meant to be? Just relax, just unwind. Just relax, just unwind.
is very.
I've been nervous, so.
You noticed I missed those chords. I hate when real guitar players come to a show. There's a couple of them here tonight, a few of them.
You walk through my walls. It's for you I fall. I'm at your feet, and you set me free. I am free. Oh, to know you. Oh, to know you.
We just have one more. Thanks for, my gosh, thank you for being, like, listening and stuff. It's kind of hard to believe it's quiet sometimes. But it's really awesome to be able to do it. So thanks, guys. And I wanted to thank all the Arts Consortium staff for being so cool, like, flexible about us hanging stuff up. It took us a lot to figure this out, and they were really patient. I want to thank my wife, Stephanie, wherever she's at, for keeping up with all my craziness all the time through this process. And for Heidi for singing, and where's Rich at? Rich? And we're working on another project. Rich, right there, is working on a project with me for the library, like a really big sculpture installation, probably for the spring, you think? Yeah. And basically we just bring butcher paper to wherever you want to put up the butcher paper, and then we do the art on the wall with a brush. And then Rich is just amazing with welding, and he'll just take it to his house and lay it down and creates that, and then brings it back, and it's really cool because it can be customized to like anything. So, do you mind raising your hand? That's Rich if you want to chat with him. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Did I say that? Oh my gosh, I'm a total idiot. For some reason, I said Arts Consortium. I don't know why. I think because I read it earlier. This is Arts Visalia. Hopefully they'll let me finish tonight. This is Arts Visalia, which is by far the best place to show in town, gallery-wise. I'm not just saying that. I'm really not just saying that. This place is legit, right? I'm sorry, I got a lot of things on my Arts Visalia. Remember it. Or else. Sorry.
Love me.
Wild apple trees blooming all around. I must be in a good place now. Sunshine's coming through a rainbow-colored sky. Paints pretty pictures in my mind. Oh, what a good day to go fishing. Or catch a sunset in the hills. Dream of my yesterdays and tomorrows, and hope that you'll be with me still. Saw a butterfly and I named it after you. Your name had such a pleasant sound. Love is all around, and all I see is you. I must be in a good place now. Oh, what a good day to go fishing. Or catch a sunset in the hills. Dream of my yesterdays and tomorrows, and hope that you'll be with me still. Saw a butterfly and I named it after you. Your name has such a pleasant sound. Love is all around, and all I see is you. I must be in a good place.
So, when I was a kid, I think the first thing I remember like really being into art was like, I think it was like 4th grade. Well, always, since I could pick up a pencil, I was always doodling in the margins and stuff. And then we had like this school newspaper at a tiny little school I went to school at, and I was doing like cartoon strips all the time, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Because I remember being really into Schultz, the guy that does the Peanuts, you know. I loved like the brush strokes that he would do, especially when he got older, and they were really like kind of jittery and like really, to me that like felt really human. Like I love like the touch of the way ink or paint looks when it hits something and the way it moves, and I like when it's like not perfect. And so I always liked the speed that I assumed he did stuff in. It just seemed real immediate and kind of pure like that, and I always loved that. And so then I wanted to paint a little later, probably 6th grade. And so a friend and I took these oil painting classes from this woman, Wava Myers, in Tulare. She's not around anymore. And every Saturday we paint for like 4 hours, and that was like oil painting. It was like super traditional, and I would like paint like, you know, like barns and things like that, because that's what we did. And just render, like try to make it something look like a photograph. And I did that for a little while, and it just like, I think I was never diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm like ADHD. And I was like, I can't do this, like, and focus on this and add the layers and wait for the paint. And I was like, this isn't my jam, you know? And then, but my best friend and I did it, and it's kind of sad, but sorry, but it is what it is. And so we did that like every Saturday for like 2 years, I think. And then he also lived like on a dairy farm, like I did out in the country. And he was building with his dad like a structure, and like all the materials fell on him, like he died. So I kind of stopped painting and everything, because I had some weird connection to like, oh, that's what my friend Mark and I did, you know, like And I was like, I think in some weird way I was trying to figure out how to mourn. Like they didn't really like, you know, at that time, it wasn't like we had like really good school counselors or anything, and no one really thought to like have me process that stuff. So it was weird. I just kind of stopped doing art for like a lot of years, but I always like sort of loved it. My dad always led like music in church up in the choir loft, so I would always watch that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's this big old sound, and it just like comes out of this wooden box, and it's like I was fascinated with that really little. So then I think I shifted into music and started playing guitar a bit and stuff. And then I have a lot of friends that are like kind of artistic minded, and I grew up skateboarding, and not to stereotype, but there's certain mindsets that are drawn to certain things, and a lot of the skateboarders that I hung out with, at least our group, were kind of independent and kind of artisan types, and so I had all these creative people around me, and so there's always like expression in some way coming out, and I always loved to create stuff, to just have something like there that wasn't there right before, or wake up the next day and you're like, oh, there's a song on a piece of paper, that's crazy, where did that come from? And same thing with like visual art, because I think a lot of times it's like there's something that I'm fascinated with in the real world, and I'm trying to think of a way to like express the feeling that that gives me, but like in a way that like I can't capture with like a photograph or something. So yeah, I think it's like memories, right? Like we process and remember things a certain way, and it's probably not all that exactly like it was. So I just visually kind of do that, and but at some point, like the visual art came back, and actually Heidi had a lot to do with me getting more into it recently, because she paints really well. Like she's what's the word I'm looking for? Technique-wise, is like an amazing painter. I just can't even wrap my head around it. So we started chatting and stuff, and it's kind of it was cool because it got me kind of painting again. And then she was singing some with me on some recordings we were going to do. So there was like all this like creative energy, and then this other friend of mine that I've known since I was like a teenager. He builds like rebuilds old like 40s and 50s Harleys and stuff. Makes these amazing choppers. And one day he was like, "Hey man, I was looking at some of those paintings, and it looks like you just put the brush down and you never pick it up. I think I could like make something if it all connects like that. I could have this idea." So he laid down butcher paper for that, and I just like really quickly, probably like I don't know, 15 minutes or something, 20 minutes, drew something. And the guy is such a purist. It was so awesome. I don't know if he's here. No, he's not here right now. He was here last night. And he was such a purist about it that he started bending all this metal, and he would lay it on top of the paper, and he would get it like, it's like exactly the impression. And I was like, you don't have to like, just like get an idea and go do the thing. And he's like, no, it was painted like this. There's a reason for everything on here. I was like, okay. But I appreciated the trueness to the form or whatever. But if you look at the, I don't know, since I'm on the topic, but it's just funny because like, even like just when you're moving really fast, sometimes these are away from each other, sometimes they run into each other or whatever, And it's not all super methodical or like all symbolism or anything. It's just like what feels right. And always trying to get balance and have it feel like it's moving. And but it's just funny because he paid attention to all those details, and then that made me look at, because we did that like 7 years ago. And then that made me look at like, man, if he's looking at it like that, maybe it's important to look a little better as you're doing stuff. And then as I did that, I started finding things I liked and didn't like. And I think like illustrators maybe is more what I'm in a painter, even though I like the idea of being a painter. I don't think I'm a painter. Illustrators, I think, are really good at making things like stark and clean. And so like when I look at this, I'm going to point out all the things I don't like now. I don't do this anymore where I like cross like an image like this with another image. I feel like they don't read as strong. Like stems have to happen, right? Because there's no way to not have them integrated. But like I wouldn't do that now. I would. This is a big no-no right here. Yeah, like that. So anyways, you just start like, if you can like just stay on a certain mindset long enough, I guess that's my goal sometimes, and just twist and turn something inside and out. As simplistic and childlike as this stuff is, it's been like probably like a decade of doing this type of stuff. And the first ones that I would like to think don't look as like pure as these do. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put stuff to words sometimes. So that's how art started. and how it kind of kicked back up again. I've done some murals for some different places and some logos for different people and things, but I don't really like to do that because then it ends up like you have to have all this dialogue and you gotta, I don't know, it's not my job, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, so most of these happen in about, generally they take about like 2 hours, and usually there's no pencil or anything, it's just like straight to it. Last night we did these in like 5 minutes each, which they're pretty like barbaric. But the idea was like, I started realizing if I'm gonna paint on the wall so everybody can see them, like the stuff I use drips. So I had to do these really dry brush strokes. So it's not like how I like to paint, so it's super raw, but it's kind of cool, it's whatever. So that's what those are. But it's kind of funny because my goal was just to make sure nothing dripped. And then it was all done, and I was like, oh, I really want music notes on there. And I was like in a conversation with someone, I was like, just jumped over the seat real quick. And then I turned around, I was like, damn, I almost made it. It was the second I let my guard down. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun last night for those of you that were here, thank you. So that's like, yeah, that's kind of a little bit about just sort of the trajectory and all that. And I don't know.
How did the music come?
With the art, yeah. So, so my wife goes to bed before I do. Like, I'll hang out for a while and she's just kind of done. So I'll either start on a guitar or I'll start on painting, and then I just bounce back and forth. So I'll be like trying to write something and trying to think of ideas for painting, and they'll sometimes happen in the same night or different nights, but right after each other. And sometimes I'm like, I just gotta put this brush down. It's not like making sense, so I'll do that. And sometimes it's like vice versa. And they kind of inquire each other. And I've always tried to figure out a way, without some cheesy cartoon like little lines that make motion and things like that. I always try to figure out a way to make some of this stuff really look like, I think of music like when I paint, like I think of it like that. Like it's all like the same sort of energy of like, not to sound like new agey, but that like creative energy is sort of the same, you know what I mean? So like if you look at like something like that one, there's even like music notes in it. You see those like kind of half notes that are bent around, or quarter notes, I guess. They're just impressions of music. I don't want to be too literal, but there's little things in there, and in my mind, you know, that stuff's all moving around. Not like I'm like totally a freak, but like I see it in motion. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it as a stagnant image, and so I try to portray that the best I can with a limited like medium of two-dimensional art. And I found that I really love color, but the stuff I do I feel like works better if it's just like real minimal on the palette, so it reads a little stronger. I feel like the more things you add, it takes away from like being able to see it in a second and have it lock in and connect with you. But that art's cool too, where you can go dig in and like find all these nuances and things, but I don't think that's my goal. And I love the idea about like being able to put out things super quick and just be done and go to the next thing. It's just so much fun. It's very liberating. I hate when it feels labored over. I have things all day long that I do that are labored over, and I don't want like art to be that narrow and just play in that and be comfortable in that. So I think as adults we get in that trap of like trying to be like do the perfect thing, or like what is it that has to be, what is required of this to be of this, you know? And
You don't overthink.
Yeah. Spontaneity is definitely a word that I think is in all this.
I think also too, knowing your personality and all the things, a lot of the things that you're involved in, you go from one thing to the next because you have so many irons in the coals.
Yeah.
That when you do these, you're just.
Yeah, it's another thing. Stephanie always tells me, my wife, she's like, man, you're either on or you're off. Like I'll go home and she'll like be watching like some old like rerun or something, and I'll just go to sleep. And we'll like go to dinner, and then I'll just like, I'm either asleep or I'm like doing a thing. I can't just like sit and like, which I don't know. Maybe that's a problem. I don't know. But it's just how I'm built. So yeah, what's up, Steve? So yeah, it's interesting. It's funny to talk about this stuff because I don't think about it. You know, it's like life. You just do it, right? You don't ever stop and think about why you put your pants on the way you do. You know what I mean? You just do it. So in some ways this is cool because I'm like understanding more about myself right now. I feel like I'm in a therapy session on this too. I want to lay down on that thing right there. Any other questions that could start dialogue?
So you do the art and then the music, or how did it come together?
Yeah, I mean, they happen at the same time. Like, I mean, I'm not literally playing at the same time, but they go back and forth. At one point, when I would do shows, every piece had a song with it, and I would just kind of write down something. You know, the song would be in the works when the piece was done, because the pieces happen faster than writing a song. And I would just write them down in a chronological order, whichever ones were completed next to each other, they would be associated with it. And then I would play, and I'd be like, hey, this song is that painting. But then for this, it kind of turned into where I was pulling from a bunch of different places, and I kind of forgot what was what. So I'd like to, I guess I could fake it, but I don't really know which songs are which anymore. It's all just kind of like a wash. It used to be a little tidier, but yeah. So I don't know if that even answers your question, but
And I can add to that.
please do.
One of my second encounter, I don't know, I gradually got to know Aaron through different meetings, I guess. But one of them was he had an art show with his paintings in like a living room. And it was like a family's living room, and it was crowded, everyone was sitting on the floor. And he went through, I don't know, like a dozen paintings. And for each painting, he played a song with it. And I was so inspired because it's like adds to the experience, like you're getting visual and audio.
Yeah. So this summer we recorded like an album with my cousin. He's got a space in Nashville, and he's a producer over there for this subsidiary of Def Jam Records, which is funny. They have a country branch now, so he's like their talent guy because everyone gets super famous now from like posting TikToks and like being able to kind of sing and being attractive though. And so he like gets these kids and puts a band around him and produces them. It's really pretty cool. I'm really like happy for him doing what he wants to do. But he was home for a little while, and I went to go see my little nephew get his first communion in our church. And my cousin Joseph was like standing right next to me. I hadn't seen him in years. And he's like, what are you up to? And I said, oh, I'm watching my nephew. He's like, oh yeah, I'm watching my nephew. He said, you gonna be around for a while? I said, I mean, I live here. He goes, well, I'm in town for a little while. Let's record some songs. And it was crazy because I had this little batch that I was working on, but I just don't think like there's really a whole lot of purpose. I don't know. Not like everyone's like, Aaron, when are you going to release an album? Or when am I going to go on tour? So I was like, I just kind of put it on the shelf, but he kind of brought that out. And then so I was kind of leaning into it. And then I met this cousin of mine also named Aaron Gomes that I never knew my whole life. And he was a bass player. And he's like, hey, if you ever want to like play music, it was literally like a couple days later. And then all these things kept hitting, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this summer. So that was like the summer project, and this was the first song we recorded. This is it right here. For those of you that don't know, I'm almost done. October 4th, God willing, 3 days after my 50th birthday this year, and on my daughter's birthday, I, God willing, will be ordained a deacon at St. Aloysius Church in Tulare. And so this song was kind of a little meditation on some of that journey. This we pray for strength and a way to do what you call us to every day. As your presence pours from voices and streams, we humbly thank you in all things.
So we'll listen when you speak. We hear your call when you're far away. Bring us back when we're astray. Fill us with your spirit today, now and always. This we pray. And as your presence pours from voices and strings, we humbly thank you in all things. For all good things, they come from you. Give you the glory in all we do. Give you the glory in all we do.
I used to play in bands when I was a kid, and I would tour, like not big tours, but like up and down, like just like as far as like Seattle down to like San Diego kind of thing. And we were really loud. I played electric guitar then, and then I started having kids, and I was like, man, I don't want to like be gone. So then I was like, how can I make it like an acoustic guitar feel like a band? And then I heard a couple artists that would play like the bass with their thumb, and then the melody with their other fingers, and it made it in my mind feel like it was kind of more full. So I just kind of went down that lane. That's kind of how I arrived at, like, it's the way style I play or something. Yeah.
I had a question about the colors in your artwork. So some of them are more monochrome, and then others have color. And I want to know what your thoughts and your feelings were when you were using each different technique.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so let me take this off because I sound like a circus clown if I walk around with that. So, like I talked about how like I like this panel is really stark. Like you can leave here and you're going to remember these probably, and to some degree. I mean, you're not going to be like, getting that tattoo tomorrow, but it burns in your head a little harder. You know what I mean? Because of the contrast, right? It's obvious, right? Black on white. So if I want to do something that I just want it to be really immediate, like flash, bam, in, I just stay black and white. Also, there's a speed that comes with that, right? If you're not playing paint down, so I feel like those have a certain feel. Now, you're gonna say something? So then I was, with this, I was thinking of like, do you ever look at like quartz crystal or anything like that, and how it's like, I think iridescent might be the word. I was like, how can I make that happen? And so like I always gesso these guys, and I was like, there's like a milkiness in some of those things that I think is super cool. What if I did the gesso on top? And it started to make this texture. And then it was like, well, when they call it cleavage, right? With rocks, when you crack them in a certain, and so then I was like, man, the best way to get that wouldn't be with a brush stroke. So then I just got palette knives, and I just started like knifing in color. And then I was like looking at some rock, how they break, and it's in sheets, right? And so then I just started doing that, and in my mind, that's like zooming into like a quartz crystal or something like that. So a lot of times I like to look at something that's an ordinary object, and then frame it out really small, a piece of it, and make it something new. I know like Georgia O'Keeffe did that a lot with flowers and stuff. She would just zoom in, and it was like, whoa, you're seeing something in the world totally different now, you know? Good photographers, I feel like, do that. I mean, all artists do that, right? This one, I just saw this color somewhere, but I couldn't find the paint anywhere. So I started just mixing colors, and then I found it, and I was super excited. And the last song we're going to do today is called "O Wind, O Wind," and that's what this painting is. And just the movement of this stuff flowing away in the wind, and just the temporariness of everything, right? I don't know, not to be like overly poetic, but all this stuff's like, you know, it's kind of whatever. It's not going to be around very long, but there's a beauty in the moment of that it's here. And just celebrating life, you know. I think all this kind of is a celebration. Like, I feel like artists always have to have these big statements, but to me, I'm just trying to make stuff that I think is like beautiful to me, and hoping someone connects with that. But yeah, I don't really know much else to say about color. I don't really understand color too well. This was in the summer, and this felt like when I was a kid, they always had like hyper-colored shirts. Like, you get them wet and they would change colors. And I always liked that. Like, we would go every year. My family goes to Shaver Lake. We'd go to a cabin. Like, my extended family, there's like 40 of us that go. And my sister is like a real artist. Like, she went to study in Italy and all this stuff. And she can do like work all kinds of mediums. And she teaches art and stuff. And she would always make us sit down and tie-dye with her. And I'm like, oh, tie-dye, I hate tie-dye. I didn't have the patience for it. But this makes me think of like, it was like a summer thing, so it was like Shaver Lake vibes. I just laid all the color out like that with a knife, and then let it dry, and then I just painted over it with India ink. But I was happy with the way it all turned out. I like how it's kind of like, in my mind, like all this stuff should kind of work in real life, the weight, you know? I felt like this one pushed the limit a little, but I like it. And I like the brush strokes when they kind of miss here and there, and when it fades out at the end, and it just feels so human. And I feel like, not to be like preachy or something, but I feel like there's like not a lot of things that we see anymore that people touch with their hands that they present to us anymore. It's all like, you know, kind of like labored over on a machine or something. I don't know, there's some sort of purist thing about that I like. I feel like a connection.
You
the Eucharist, we believe as in the Catholic Church that there's a moment in the Mass, our celebration, where we believe like that Jesus during the Last Supper instated that we would connect with Him and commune with Him by reenacting, and because God operates outside of time and space, we literally believe that we're in that moment with Him. When the priest consecrates the host, he puts his hands on it and he says, "Behold, the body of Christ." That's the title, "Behold." That's called a ciborium underneath that we put them all in. And it's part of what we do. One of my clerical duties, if I'm ordained in October, is to distribute that. The deacon mainly does it to homebound, those that can't make it to church anymore. We go out and take it out to people. But we believe that it's the true body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ, and it gives us strength on our journey here, our pilgrimage on earth, until we get to heaven. So it's like a really important image for me. It's like the source and summit of our faith. And I could talk about that for a long time.
So yeah, you actually want to paint that?
Well, so there's, during that moment, I literally kneel down at the altar and in like humbleness, and I see the priest consecrate the host, and the ciborium's under it, and I'm always like, I'm always amazed at how light bounces off the ciborium and makes like, it illuminates, right? Because that's what metal does, stainless, whatever that is. And that image of the Eucharist itself is so strong. And I actually painted everything except, I just wanted to keep it in my mind like pure, like untouched. So the white is just canvas. So I just paint an image, I get squared up with it and stare at it. The Eucharist it'll move a little bit. Your eyes will start, it looks like it's coming out of you. And it's to make it like stark and strong was my idea. So yeah, those are little things. There's little things in all of them that I don't usually talk about. They're just kind of there to, yeah. But yeah, that's that. Any other questions? Yeah.
What happens when you wake up? What do you think about?
So I believe, I'm getting all like, I think because we went down the religious route, but it's who I am, so. I think that like I'm put on earth to do as much as I can in a short amount of time to be a reflection of God's love in this place where we're at. And so I always think about like how can I serve best today, and I pray that like for less of me and more graces to fall on me so I can endure whatever I have to do during the day. Like the role of the deacon is to serve. Our image, the icon is us kneeling down and washing feet, like when Jesus washed the disciples' feet. And if you can get in that mindset, like a Mother Teresa type mindset, for those of you that maybe can relate to that a little more, I think that's like the perfect like walk. So I have a lot of different things that I do in my life that are sort of along those things. So I always think of that, and then I know for me, like I'm a kind of a giver. That's what I was born to do. So I'm always happiest when I'm like making other people happy. And it's not like some crazy like sacrificial thing, because I enjoy it. And it's weird as you lean into certain things like that, when you find like your giftings and talents and you use them to serve or kind of give away the things that you're temporarily given, you get really fulfilled, you know? And then you find yourself, if you look in the progression of your life, like a few years back, you're like, you don't realize it because it's day to day, but you're like, wow, I'm like changing as a person, like the way I see the world, the way I want to connect to people. And it's kind of cool if you can like kind of get in that mindset. So I try to start every day like that. I serve at our church on Monday mornings and Tuesday mornings before I go to work. And also I have 3 masses I do on Sunday. And then there's some things I do with youth groups, and then there's things I do with outreach to those experiencing homelessness, and there's trips I lead to build houses in Mexico, and lots of different things. But all those really fulfill me. So I'm always thinking about, like, where do you want me today, God? You know, I don't really say that to people usually, but that's literally what it is. And sometimes I struggle, like, so this was kind of hard for me to do because it feels kind of like, okay, you're going to go in there and you're going to like talk about your art, and like that's very egocentric or something. But then someone told me like, no, I mean like people like enjoy like the human experience, and so I'm like trying to like get over myself, you know what I mean?
when we go home. Oh wind, when will you blow? First kiss God gave us when we were clay. Our soul remembers even today that kiss of love, that breath of life set us in